Hey, this is just me, your MarTech specialist. We were at a very special conference on cyber law, cybercrime, and cybersecurity. And, I got this opportunity to talk to some wonderful people. Ladies and gentlemen, seldom this happens that you meet somebody who has dedicated his entire life to a cause. And he started a movement that has become so big that the world is coming to embrace it all. The next 5 minutes that I'm going to have this conversation with a very renowned leader in our country, going to be life-changing for you. It's certainly going to be life-changing for me. So I'm talking about Dr. Pavan Duggal ji, who is at the helm of cybercrime, cyber law, cyber security in our country. He's a very senior lawyer, and I've gotten this opportunity to talk to him at a very special conference that he's been keeping from last 11 years. Sir, namaskar. Hello, it's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you. It's good to be with you on your show.
It's great to have you, sir. So tell us about yourself a bit. How did you start? How have you been able to make it so big, sir? This conference, this event, your cause, just a bit about it.
Well, I began as a normal civil and corporate lawyer in 1988 before the district courts, and then early 90s got some technology clients, got interested in technology. I'm a history student. I've got no connection with technology.
Wow.
And then came internet, and I got massively hooked onto the internet in 1995. And then after a couple of months of madness, decided that there'll be some legalities to cyber. So started focusing on cyber law.
Wow.
That was 1995 end. Since then, nothing was happening in India. So I went outside. I went to work with an international organization. The Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers got formed in 1998. I was associated with them since 1998. Then India started coming up with a cyber law. So I started assisting the Department of Electronics on the drafting of the law. Then I was assisting various parliamentarians at the time when the bill was presented before Parliament. And then once the law was passed, started focusing purely on this. First it was only cyber law. Then clients came, said, "Can you do cybercrime cases for us?" I said, yes. So did cybercrime cases, was the Council for India's first cybercrime conviction in 2003. Started working on cybersecurity, then on to emerging technologies like blockchain, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence. So it's one particular paradigm that's told me that you will never be able to master in your life, which is the internet. Wow. It is so huge, it's so humongous, and it's so overwhelming that all you can do is just continue to try catching up to it. But yes, it's a great teacher. It's a humbling experience because it always tells you, look, I'm much ahead of you.
Great. So to keep it very short, I'm going to ask two questions simultaneously, and you can just give your narrative.
Sure.
It'll be so valuable, sir, if you'll just condense your years of experience and say this. One, where is this all headed as per your vision? And second is, sir, what can the youth of a country do at this time to avail this opportunity, sir?
So we are headed towards a very bright and uncertain choppy waters ahead. In terms of cyberspace, cyberspace is getting more diverse. It's getting more balkanized. New emerging technologies are completely changing the paradigm. Artificial intelligence is here to stay. But in the next 2 years, we see super intelligence coming in, and that could be an existential threat to humanity. So it's time for us to have a 2-step backwards, look at the entire paradigm, and understand that what you're doing today will no longer be relevant in the next 5 years. So you will have to constantly keep on updating yourself, coming up with new skill sets so that you can continue to be relevant and topical, because technology is changing at such a phenomenal pace that you are not able to catch up with. Number one. Number two, we have to realize that the internet as a paradigm never sleeps. Internet as a phenomenon never forgets. So be very careful when you're leaving behind your electronic footprints, because almost everybody today is undergoing and part of the great vomiting revolution where people are vomiting data about their personal, professional, and social lives online. And number three, let's learn to protect whatever limited privacy remains of us. Let's not be in a hurry to publish everything about us online, because that's going to come and haunt us, not just by cyber criminals, but by artificial intelligence per se. So we are at a very important and a transient phase as far as our life is concerned. My message to the youth is, well, don't take the internet for granted. Number two, this internet will come and haunt you tomorrow, thanks to what you're doing today online, in terms of what you're posting, what you're publishing, what you're transmitting. Your next job will be dependent on what you have posted today, because your next recruiter is going to look through your social media history to find out what kind of profile you have. And finally, let's all realize that as youth, you are already riding a running tiger. You do not have the ability to get off the tiger, which is going to eat you out, which is the internet, which is technology, which is AI. So your only option is to go ahead and calibrate your strategies in such a manner that you can go ahead and balance your various thought processes. That's about all. It's a constantly changing world. The world will be completely different in the next 5 years. So let's be prepared for it, and let's try to protect our privacy, our data, our personal reputations, and our digital presence online, both today and also in the coming times.
Thank you, sir. This comes from a person who has been at the helm and who is doing it all. So I'm sure we're going to take care of it and follow what he said. Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure meeting you and talking to you.
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Namaskar.